Fear Cup fam? This is your host, Ricardo Terrell, coming to you guys with another episode of the Fear Cup podcast. My mission is to inspire one soul at a time to ultimately inspire the world. And today I plan to do that by helping you guys navigate life when it seems like your world is crumbling. I want to start off with a quote. It's simple, but it is profound, okay? And it says, "Vision is changing what you see." Vision is changing what you see. I want you guys to close your eyes. All right, track me really fast. Say it again. Vision is changing what you see. As your eyes are closed, you can't actually see anything. For me in this moment, I have lights on me, right? So I can see the inside of my eyelids, right? But it's just red. But if I tell myself to imagine the individual that I want to be, the life that I want to live, and I get very specific with the intricate details, I am now able to visualize that individual. I want to help you guys with some practical things, right? Like write it down, make the vision plain. Where do you want to live? What do you want to look like? What do you want your family life to look like? What do you want your social relationships to look like? How much money do you want to make at your job? Like imagine yourself, visualize yourself, vision, right? Going to the bank and withdrawing whatever that dollar amount is for you that will put you in shock. Do that. Make that a reality for yourself. We have to start somewhere, right? Most people fail because they don't even start, right? So if you're not even stepping up to the plate to bat, you're going to lose every single time. And what I've identified over the years is that the starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping is simply self sabotage. There's this thing called momentum. In the book, The Compound Effect, Darren Hardy actually calls it Big Mo. Momentum is when you get things going, and then it gets to a pace where it becomes normalized. An object in motion stays in motion, right? An object at rest stays at rest. Think about that in whatever way that may apply to you. But I do want to give you guys insight today into a couple of dreams that I had, right? And hopefully through these dreams, you guys can imagine being there and visualizing it. Hopefully you can see it as a movie. They are short, but the meaning behind them are powerful. All right, so first dream, I'm working in the store. I don't know where the store is located. I don't know who I'm working for. I just remember a man pulling up in a pickup truck. He's laying in the bed of the truck. He gets up, he has a rocket launcher. All right, automatically everything escalated quickly. He shoots the rocket launcher. It hits the building as the explosion takes place. I turn around for cover as any normal person would do, and I turn around and I end up and I'm at this like construction site. And as I entered the construction site, there's more chaos going on. I see people running for life. I hear explosion. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? It literally felt like a war was taking place. And out of nowhere, the ground starts to shake and I see it start to crumble. So I'm literally in the middle and I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to go. I'm in the middle of it, right? Think about your life and what you're in the middle of right now. Do you feel stuck? Right? Do you feel like there's no way for you to get out of what you're currently in? Do you feel like you're in quicksand? Track me, all right? Hopefully today in this conversation I'll be able to help you overcome being stuck. The ground started to crumble. As the ground splits in half, I'm literally falling. Alright, so if it's split and it cracks, there's one part of the ground that's still here, I'm on the part of the ground that's sinking. And as I'm going down, I see nothing but darkness. And I'm like, "Man, my life as I know it is over." Okay? My life as I know it is over, and there's significance behind it. I wanna pause for a moment. Have you felt like at any point in life you encountered certain things and you felt like it was over? The revelation that I gained from that specific experience was that a new beginning was coming, like if I was going to elevate my life to the level that I desired at that specific point in time, I needed to die to who I currently was then. Every new or every next level, every new level of our lives is going to require a different version of us. What got us here will not take us there. Okay? It won't take us there. And if you have that thought process, then maybe that's why you're stuck in the same spot right now. That's why you're stuck in the same spot because you haven't done the work. And it's not hard. That's the thing. Or not challenging, I should say. Whenever we use certain verbiage like hard and challenging, it either blocks our creative thinking or it ignites our creative thinking. So whenever someone says something is hard, especially around me, I'll quickly not necessarily like correct them, but I would challenge them and say like, "Hey, let's actually switch that from hard to challenging so that we can figure out how to actually solve what it is that's at hand." So I want you guys to take a moment, think about the experiences in your life that made you feel like life as you knew it was over. What was the revelation that you had? What changed after the revelation? Are you in a better place now because of the revelation and the action that you took after the revelation took place? That's another quick point right there. Have you taken action? Have you done the things that you said that you were going to do 2 years ago? 10 years ago. I have audience listeners from ages of 18 to 55, 60. It doesn't matter how old you are. The only difference between people that win in life and people that lose is decision making. And winners make quality, consistent decisions. And if you view yourself in that light as a winner, then you're going to do whatever it takes to get to that next level. But only you know and what God knows what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. But you know the truth. I think whenever we depend on other people to try to fix us, we become prisoners. Okay? But it's so much liberation in knowing that I can get up every single day and make the decision to be a better me. And this is going to transition into my next dream. Okay? And I want to talk about the power of withdrawing. That same year, I would say probably maybe within a couple of weeks or so, I had a dream that was extremely eye-opening. Okay, so looking back, it actually felt like a movie scene. Okay, imagine a camera shot coming into action. All right, and we're moving in slow motion. The final product will be a panoramic view, but the beginning is slow motion. And I want to give you guys the slow motion insight so that you can actually see the intricate details. Imagine right now, close your eyes and imagine a skyscraper being on fire. Imagine car alarms going off. Beep, 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 beep. Excuse my sound effects. Are you able to hear the car alarms? Are you able to hear people shouting? Are you able to hear people screaming? Are you able to hear babies crying? Can you hear the burst of the fire hydrant and all the power of the water that is coming out of it? This is all taking place in my dream. And as the camera shot gets to the middle, there I am. Oh my gosh. Even in this moment, I am reminded of the power of that statement. Like, I am. God is the great I am. And I was sitting in the middle of the street. My eyes were closed, my feet were together, my palms were facing up. I'm in this full meditation mode. But the revelation that I received from this dream was that no matter what is transpiring around me, prayer and meditation are my weapon, and those powerful acts will keep me calm in any storm. Imagine legitimately chaos taking place around you, like, what is your reaction? Are you a part of the chaos, or are you seeking solutions to the chaos? Could you see the chaos in my dream? Could you hear the screams? Could you feel the heat of the flame? Are you able to remember and hear and feel the chaos in your life that you're currently experiencing or that you have experienced? Okay, I want to encourage you today that no matter what you heard, feel, or remember, God will always be there to comfort you. My dreams remind me of the disciples being in the midst of the storm, right? And if you guys have not heard this story, I'll give you some quick insight. But it reminds me of the disciples being stuck in the storm with Jesus, and these violent waves were right in front of them. This is in Matthew 8:23. If you guys want to go and check this out, but Jesus calms the storm. I want to stop for a moment and really think about though, like, how would you respond if you were stuck in the middle of a storm and and waves were crashing that were a million times larger than you, right? I'm sure the disciples felt that they were about to die. That's why they obviously ran and woke up Jesus. But the significance of this moment in history is so profound to me because Jesus, who was God in man form, was there at the beginning of creation. So the very thing that he partook in creating was the same thing that his disciples were afraid of. And they thought that everyone on the boat was going to die by drowning. All right, so Jesus ended up responding to his disciples and said, he asked them, "Why are you afraid? You have so little faith." That's the statement that he made. And then he got up and rebuked the wind and waves, and suddenly there was a great calm. The disciples were so amazed, they asked, "Who is this man? Even the winds and waves obey him." Who is this man? They were following Jesus. They were his disciples, and it may be a challenge to conceptualize the magnitude of what actually took place because of how calm Jesus was. But I want you guys to take a moment to reflect on the event. It's not just a magical story, okay? Our creator put us in a position to speak to the storms in our lives, and with faith, those storms are to cease. The storms are to cease. Speak to those things in your life right now that you feel are weighing you down. Speak to the individual that you want to be. I constantly circle around that, right? Anytime you guys hear me repeat something repeatedly, it's because it's actually important. I have a couple questions for you guys. Take time, write the questions down, or just answer them. Have you been welcoming the same storm in your life? Have you been avoiding the storm? Have you thought about the benefits on the other side of the storm? And no matter what your answer is, today is the day that you will be able to experience breakthrough. So I want you guys to say this with me. Today is the day that I will experience breakthrough. Today is the day that I will experience breakthrough. Today is the day that I will experience breakthrough. And I would like for you guys to start viewing your daily encounters as growth opportunities. All right. Instead of why is this happening to me? Why not me? Right? Someone has to be the exception. Why not you? So I don't care how frustrated you are, happy or sad you are, we can always grow from every encounter. So I want to talk about really quick embracing the unknown. So as we dive deeper into navigating the chaos in our lives, I want us to acknowledge some of the fundamentals of the fear of the unknown, okay? And it's entirely natural. When everything around us feels unstable, we often feel compelled to look for certainty, right? A solid ground to stand on. And that's what I was referring to in my dream. But what if I told you that embracing uncertainty could be your pathway to liberation? It could be your pathway to freedom. All right. Life is unpredictable. Okay. We are having to surrender ourselves to the unknown, and most people don't know how to respond to that. There's the fear of the unknown. But I want to give you guys some practical strategies to actually help you do this. And number one would be to practice mindfulness and presence. Okay. When chaos, when chaos reigns, okay, our thoughts can spiral into anxiety about the future or regrets from the past. I want you guys to engage in mindfulness. Say it with me. Engage in mindfulness. Whether you're doing meditation, whether that's deep breathing, or you guys are simply having an awareness to your surroundings, you will be able to ground yourself in that moment and be present. That's what meditation does. That's what being mindful does. And I want to challenge you guys to spend 5 minutes each day practicing this. I can only challenge you on this because I've done it and I continuously do it. Now, mine is more than 5 minutes. This is my life every day throughout the day. Any chance that I get to take myself where it is that I know God has me, I'm going to do it so that I can come back to my present moment and do the things that I may not feel like doing. But when I do it anyway, I know that I'm one step closer to getting to where it is that I'm destined to be. I was actually telling myself this at the gym earlier, but I was looking at myself in the gym or in the mirror at the gym, and I was just seeing the body fat I visualize it just ripping off because now I'm seeing different muscle separation, tonality, guns are hugging the sleeves, you know what I mean? And I kept telling myself positive deposits, healthy deposits, great deposits. This protein drink is a healthy deposit. Me going to the gym for 2 days after staying up for 36 hours straight, I worked out and did two different workouts within a 24-hour time period after only sleeping for 36 hours, right? That is a decision. That is a healthy deposit. This will be able to help you guys create clarity amidst the chaos. All right. I want you guys to be certain. I want you guys to be able to face these challenges with a firm mindset of I'm going to win no matter what takes place. Number two, I want you guys to establish a support system. You don't have to have the richest people in the world, right? Or the best looking people in the world by any means to fit in per se. Create your own table. For me, I'm a natural introvert. It may not seem that way based off of how I speak and my energy at times. I've been able to read and apply different strategies to be able to tone it down a little bit, or I can bring it up, put a smile on my face, or I can have a look of concern, right? These are all different skill sets that I've been able to develop by simply reading and applying these things. But again, you don't have to navigate life and life's challenges with family, relationship, life, work, etc. by yourself. There are other people in the world that are seeking the same thing. And when you guys can come together, create a community, as most people like to do, but a community with like-minded individuals that are focused on growing in a positive manner, right? That's important. You create this harmonious unity that's going to allow you to start thinking differently, that's going to allow you to use your creative ability at a level that you didn't even know was possible, and then you'll start to see the overflow of blessings in your life. So consider joining support groups, either in person or online, and see what comes from that. I can't sit here and promise you that your entire world is going to change whenever you join a community, right? It has to be the community. But make sure that you are becoming who it is that you want to be around. Does that make sense? If you sow negativity, that's what you're going to reap. If you sow love, peace, joy, happiness, kindness, that's what you're going to reap as well. So I also want you guys to set small, achievable goals whenever you guys are faced with overwhelming circumstances, right? Setting large goals can actually become paralyzing. And I was a victim of this for so many years, so many years. I'm like, man, I'm trying to get ahead, right? Fast, fast, fast money here, fast money there, fast growth here, fast growth there. But I didn't slow down enough to really realize that like patience is key. Okay. Patient, patience. Patience is key. We have to be able to slow down and figure out, okay, where are we currently? Where do we want to be? That's the vision. What goals do we need to set in place in order to get there? But also, what are the strategies? What are the day to day things? What are the things that not only correlate with me progressing, but that'll actually cause me to progress? All right. So whether you guys are picking up a new hobby, calling a friend, cleaning up the house, accomplishing these small tasks can create a sense of achievement, and it'll help you start to build that confidence and that momentum that I was talking about earlier. All right. Number four will be seek professional help. So if things feel insurmountable, I don't want you guys to hesitate and wait until, it reaches the point of harming yourself or harming somebody else, or so maybe not even to that extreme, but I never wanted to get to that point. So when you can get ahead of the challenge like that, everybody else will be thankful. Okay. I want to speak to all of my people who are having suicidal thoughts right now and that are wearing masks for other people. You matter. You matter. Okay. I remember a time in my life where I was going through, oh man, I was super depressed. All right, I was super depressed. I was 19 years old. I'm a young father going through life, not knowing how to navigate, obviously, right? But not having an example to follow behind made it extremely challenging. So like I didn't have wisdom of my elders to go off of, like, hey, do this, don't do this, move that way, don't move that way. So I got to a point where I was just chasing money, chasing money, chasing money, and I was burnt out. And I remember, and I wouldn't say that I've never shared this. I've shared this with maybe only a couple people in my life, but there was a time where I was sitting on I had a treasure chest at the time where I kept a lot of my keepsake stuff in there, and I had a Glock 19 at the time. All right. You asked me at 19, why did I have a Glock 19? It's because I had the wrong association. All right. But I was at a point where I was working 15, 16-hour days consistently. I was making quote unquote good money, but I was literally so busy working. I remember looking at my bank account like, man, I got these thousands and thousands of dollars, right? But I don't even want to spend it. Like, I don't have the energy to go and spend it. I was barely seeing my son at the time because I was working so much. I shared this in a previous episode, but for his first 3 months of life, I barely got to see him because I was working third shift, graveyard shift, and it just was unhealthy. I was dozing off behind the wheel countless and countless and countless of times. I'm sitting on this treasure chest, and I take my gun at the time and I put it here. And I know I'm getting kind of deep on you guys, but I want you to understand the significance and the power behind everything that I've been sharing today and everything that I'll continue to feed you guys. This is why I do the deep work. This is why I do the work to figure out, like, hey, why am I wired this way? Why do I react this way? Why did I have this feeling of inadequacy? Why do I have a challenge with being wrong? Right? My wife brought that to my attention years ago, and I was in denial about it because I'm like, I'm rarely wrong. Right? That was my state of mind. But I'm at a point now to where I can actually take ownership and own my mistakes. Um, but I'm sitting on the treasure chest and I have the gun here. Remember, you are important. You are important. And I thought about pulling the trigger And in that moment, I knew that if I pulled the trigger, that my mom's life was going to change. My 3-month-old son was going to be raised without a father, which I did not want. I had to go through that, right? My dad was not killed or anything like that. He's actually still alive somewhere in the world doing whatever it is that he's doing. I didn't want that for my baby. I didn't want that for my future children, right? I knew that I was the rock for my family. At an early age, I knew I was the one. I knew I was the one. Like, I made a decision to put my family on my back. I wanted my last name to mean something, Terrell to mean something. And now it does. And now it does. I'm so grateful I didn't pull that trigger. I'm so grateful that I can sit here in my beautiful, lovely home with my beautiful family and even speak to y'all. Y'all are my family too. I don't know who's all on the other side of this. I know I have a couple loyal followers and listeners. Shout out to my boy Tony Servos, who is in California living it up out there. My boy Harrison, he told me that he's tapping into the podcast as well. So shout out to you guys, man. I'm glad I didn't pull the trigger because I would have never got to meet those amazing men who are great fathers, okay, who I've been able to get certain insight on different aspects of life from. If I would have pulled that trigger at 19, I would have missed the 20-year-old Ricardo experiences, 21, 22, all the way up now to 26. I would not have met my wife if I pulled that trigger. I would not have had my baby girl Leah, who looks just like me, my little twin. I would not have had Ricardo Jr. if I would have pulled that trigger. My family means the world to me. They mean the world to me, and this is why I do the work. Because if we don't do the work, okay, we forfeit the right to teach our children. We have to be the ones, man. We have to be the ones. We have to be the ones, family. We have to be the ones because if not, then who will be? Seek professional help. Professionals can help navigate feelings of despair and provide valuable perspective on your circumstances and provide options moving forward. I want you guys to understand this that seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but it is a sign of strength. When I went to therapy, that was the most freeing thing I've ever experienced in my life. I cried in front of this stranger that obviously she was a stranger. I cried bawling because there was certain questions that she asked that had like triggered some things for me that I was aware of, but from an emotional standpoint, I was shielded from. And when I got that freedom, that allowed me to start treating other people better. I realized that I had a lot of unforgiveness in my heart, so it didn't allow me to be the leader that I needed to be at the highest level because I'm appointed, right? When you know that you are, and it goes from like a thinking to a feeling to like a knowing, when you know, then it is a necessity to do whatever it takes. I want you guys to actually think about the ramifications of you not doing the work. If I would have pulled that trigger, I gave insight into some of the things that would not have transpired. So many, so many, so many thousands of stories that I could share, different people that I've met, amazing people that I've met from all different walks of life. I would not have been able to hear their perspectives on certain things, and I would not have been able to be in a position to bless them when they needed to. And you don't just bless people financially, all right? Utilize your gifts and your talents to bless people. I give my time to people. I've given countless hours to people. I've spent thousands and thousands. not spent. I've invested thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and thousands of dollars into people all across the country because I cared that much about helping other people get to the next level. I want you guys to reframe your narrative. This is a crucial aspect in surviving the chaos that actually comes in our lives. All right. How can we frame our experiences? I want you to ask yourself this. How can I frame my experiences so that I can become a victor and not a victim? Reflect on the story that you tell yourself during difficult times so that you can dissect it to the core. You can get the intricate details and you can do everything that you need to prevent yourself actually being back in that position. Like, that's how you know that you've learned and that you've grown. There's still some things today that I'm struggling with that I have not grown from, and it's a challenge. Like, my biggest challenge in life has been my marriage, like trying to figure marriage out because I'm super dominant. My wife is super dominant in her personality, although she is submissive. There is like I have to understand that coming from where I came from and coming from where she came from was two different worlds. It's not Ricardo against the world anymore. I have my partner. And if we're going to grow to the level that God has called us to, I'm going to have to do a lot of deep work, continuous deep work. We're going to have to obviously work together. She's going to have to continuously grow and improve. And I'm going to do it as well. But like we've made that commitment to do so. We're sold out for the rest of our lives to doing so. But that can only come if we're visualizing where we want to be, as I started the podcast by saying, visualizing where we want to be and understanding that when we picture ourselves where it is that we want to be, at that point, we have to grab hold of it, write the intricate details, and then start doing. We got to start doing. So I want you guys to start doing. I want you guys to comment in the comment section what it is that you're currently battling, right? If you don't want to put it out to the world, please message me. But what it is that you're battling, what it is that you're looking to do to overcome that challenge, right? So that we can actually do it. And at that point, you're going to have a testimony. And that testimony is going to set other people free. Do you understand? We're all in this together. I want you guys to share at least one takeaway from this recording. And I want to create a space for healing and inspiration. You know, I've disconnected myself from how I used to be, and I'm a million percent a different human. All right. I'm a different person than who I used to be. So sometimes when I think about my life and my experiences, it's like, did I really live that? But I did. I did. And I took myself back to that place in a small example during this recording so that you guys can see like even the people who are extremely confident go through things. People that you think that are successful, and maybe they are. Success is relative. They still go through things. We are human. We all have emotions, right? We all make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, but it's not okay to keep making mistakes. It's okay to have a bad moment, but it's not okay to keep having bad moments. Not saying that anyone has to be perfect because that's not reality. But we have to get to a space and place to where we can expect growth because that's the only way growth is going to come. So as we wrap up this episode, I want you guys to have this reminder. Okay, write it down, screenshot it, do something with it. But crumbling does not equate to failure. Crumbling does not equate to failure. It signifies the fertile ground that's needed for new growth, new beginnings, and a newfound strength. Please, 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 man. I'm begging you guys because it's easy to hear it. It's easy to be like, hey, I hear what you're saying, but I don't feel like it. At that point, there's no accountability. There's no accountability. I want you guys to embrace the journey. I want you guys to handle the chaos with grace. Grace is one thing that I'm working on as well. And I want you guys to trust that you are crafted for resilience. While each crumbling experience may feel isolating, okay, it's going to open the door to new community, understanding, and profound life lessons. I love you guys, man. I don't know who on the other side of this camera, but just know that I have love for you. Know that you are important. Know that you are phenomenal. And when you start speaking these things and that's your expectation, you will start to live that way. You're going to carry yourself different. How you speak, how you look, what you wear, all these things are a reflection of your standards. Let's elevate our standards so that we can continue to change the world. I thank you guys for listening. I pray that you've experienced breakthrough today. If there's anyone that you guys think would benefit from this specific episode or any of my episodes, please share it with them. That's my only ask. It doesn't cost anything to share. All right, it's free. But I want you to ask yourself, who is waiting on me to succeed? This is Ricardo Terrell signing out. I hope that you guys win the day. Go out and fill someone else's cup so that your cup can be filled. See you guys soon.